Hey guys, I'm Kai from Lucas Landing Worlds. Hope you're doing well, and with my breeding season still at its peak, I have another 2 clutches to show you, so stick around. Hey guys, so like I said, I have 2 clutches to show you. The first one is a Hypo pairing. The dad is a double het Hypo puzzle, and the mom is a fire spinner blast. So that's fire, pastel, pinstripe, and spider. And the breeder said she could be a visual Hypo. He wasn't sure, so he sold her to me as a het Hypo. So now let's go ahead and take a look at this clutch now that all the hatchlings have crawled out of their eggs. So let's start with this one over here. Still has a little bit of perlite on it, but that's okay. It'll all come off after it sheds. And this is looking like a pastel pinstripe or a lemon blast. And we'll take a look at this one real quick. And I believe this to be a Hypo. I mean, if you look at the colors, especially the blacks, the stripes, you see how they're kind of muted. They're a little bit diluted, a little bit, what do you call it? It looks like it's shedding, right? And we all know that the Hypo has that look as if it's going into shed. If you look at the head, you can see it's a little bit muted. It's not as, prominent, especially the eye stripe. The head is just not like very tan or brown. It's more of a muted color. So I believe this to be a pinstripe Hypo. Again, another one. They all look very, very similar. And one of the great things about hatching a bunch of hatchlings in the same clutch is you get to use them for comparison. So again, we have almost the same look. You guys can see. This one looks a little bit lighter, but also because it's dried off a little bit. This one has a bit more of a sheen to it because it's still wet. And we have one more to show you. Not one, not two, but 3 pinstripe Hypo 50% het puzzle. Again, we'll do some comparisons here. You can see how that one's in a ball, not cooperating. We'll use the very first one. You can see how similar they look. It's strange that the other genes didn't carry through, like the fire and the pastel. So this one I believe to be everything but the Hypo. So this would be spinner, fire, pastel. And the spinner, if you guys don't know, is a combination of pinstripe and spider. And this would be the, like I said, spinner, fire, pastel, het Hypo, 50% het puzzle. I believe this to be a spider Hypo. Now, I can't really tell if it has pastel in it or not. I don't believe it does because I think the next one shows that it has pastel. But this one, I feel like I'm still maybe 1 gene off because it's so light. But again, I haven't hatched Hypos before, so maybe this is just a Hypo spider. So this to me looks like just like the last one, but it probably has the pastel in it, or maybe it has the fire in it. I have to do a little bit more research on Morph Market. That's kind of how I identify these, is I just compare these to what I think they are, and then I look at Morph Market to see if close or not.
So that was a pretty cool clutch, and I'm thinking maybe I should invest a little bit more into the puzzle project. Anyway, let's move on to the next clutch. I'm going to be cutting open eggs from a killer leopard head clown that was paired to a pastel extreme gene clown. So I'm going to go ahead and get their eggs, get that clutch, and let's see what kind of odds I'm dealt. So let's get this set up and cut those eggs. This is day 56, and there was actually an egg right here in this part. You can see it left some of this black mold stuff on the light diffuser, and I want to cut this open today. Even though it's day 56, I think it's very safe to cut, but they haven't pipped yet. And the reason I want to cut is, if you can look, there is a kind of a fuzzy stuff, and I think the mold from that moldy egg is transferring onto these two. This one has it as well. You can see it's pretty bad. So I want to cut this open. This way the hatchlings have a way out to kind of get away from that stuff. Hopefully it doesn't affect them. Like I said, day 56, we are clear to cut. So let me move these things out of the way. We'll get this out. And then this tray will catch all the goo. So let's start with this one. This is like the smallest of this clutch. And again, I should have a 50% chance of hitting clown combos. So let's see what we got. And that's a clown. That is a nice looking clown. And I think this would be a firefly clown. Looks very similar to the mom, I think. So let me see, what was a pairing? Super pastel leopard het clown to a pastel extreme gene. So there's no fire. I don't know what I'm talking about. So we're looking for pastels, super pastels, leopards, and extreme gene. So those are our options. And of course, there's clown or head clown. So I'm guessing this to be pastel leopard. I don't know, pastel leopard. It doesn't look like the dad, which is supposed to be a pastel extreme gene, although so far every hatchling that he's sired has pastel, so he could be a super pastel extreme gene. I mean, I've always thought that he looks much cleaner than any of the other pastel extreme genes I've seen, and also much cleaner than a super pastel clown. So I think so far this would be clutch number 4 that he sired, and that one looks to be pastel. So we'll see what happens with the rest of these eggs. Okay. This is interesting. It's very blown out, very blushed out. I would say this is at least a super pastel. There is movement, that's good. Because sometimes when you get like this milky look to it, it sometimes means that the hatchling has perished or close to it. By the way, these veins, I don't know if we saw any veins on this one. Yeah, we saw some veins there. These veins, they're just there for oxygen exchange, air exchange. So it pulls in oxygen through the egg and pushes carbon dioxide out. Doesn't hurt the baby at all. And doesn't look like I nicked any, so that's good. But even if I did, it doesn't hurt the baby. So that's a super pastel, at least a super. Moving on to egg number 3. By the way, let me know if the lighting is any better, or if you like the lighting in the last video, because I can just turn that other one back on. I'm just trying to experiment with the lights here. Again, you can see that milkiness. You can see the milky white. And this looks like not clown. I know that was very descriptive and helpful to everyone. So this doesn't look like a clown. This looks like, God, I don't know. I never hatched leopards before, guys, so I'm not really sure how to identify leopard, but I have seen a pastel leopard, which is why I feel like that's a pastel leopard. This one, pastel. Again, look, pastel, pastel, pastel. So far we got 3 pastels. Don't really know what this is. This could just be a super pastel. This could just be a super pastel het clown. We'll know more when it comes out. I think that's the head right there, and you can see that's a nice... Is it the head? No, it's not the head. Don't listen to me, guys. So now let's move on to the next egg, and we have a bit of a window, bit of a mold. So let's get this little guy freed up, or girl. Okay, another clown. Another clown. And what's interesting about this one is it has the same blushing as this one. You can see the blushing, they look very similar, but the pattern looks like this. So based on that, I would say this is a killer leopard clown. If you don't know what killer is, that's super pastel. So super pastel leopard clown. Give you one more look before I put this one away. So that was pretty good. And that's the one with the mold in the window, which is interesting. A lot of people think that the worst egg contains the best snake. We don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but so far it seems like it. All right, so this is the last egg. Come on, let's end on a high note. Give me another clown. All right, big reveal. Boom, it is a clown. And wow, this one is extremely bright. This is extremely, I wouldn't, maybe bright is not the word. It has a lot of contrast. And it looks different than this one. Or not, or maybe not. Maybe it looks very, these actually look very similar. So maybe these are both pastel leopard clowns. Although the one in my left hand, this one, looks a little bit lighter. It's got a little bit more blushing. This one looks like a little bit, what do you call it? I don't want to say faded, but it looks lighter. This one looks more intense and this one looks lighter. Maybe I should put it that way. It doesn't look like the camera's picking it up, but we'll see when they come out. We'll definitely see when they come out. And you guys probably realize that I didn't call out any of these to have extreme gene, and that's because I suck at identifying extreme gene. So I got amazing odds on that clutch. Statistically, I should have only gotten 50% visual clowns and 50% hets. And in this case, I got 80% visual clowns. So I cannot wait until they all crawl out of the eggs. And of course, I'm going to give you guys an update once they do. So that about wraps it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and you want to be informed of future uploads, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. As always, thanks for watching. Please share, and I'll see you guys next time.